welcome to my channel. My name is Sasa. I make cosplay, cooking, and sewing related videos. Today I'm going to show how I made this sword knife. It's from the anime Jujutsu Kaisen. The character name is Nanami Kento. It was really easy to make and the materials are quite cheap. I'm using a wooden rod. I cut it to 22 inches long. I'm not sure if I made it too big compared to my body size, so if you're taller than me, it's probably better. If I would remake this again, I might make it a bit smaller. So I'm using cardboard to make the shape. I looked at some kitchen knives in my home for references of the shape. I'm using a hot glue gun to attach the cardboard to the pole. It sticks well and dries fast. You could also just use masking tape and tape the cardboard around the pole. I decided to cover it with paper mache to give it a bit stronger structure and shape. For the paste, I watered down regular white glue. I use a paintbrush so my fingers don't get as dirty. I paint the glue mixture on and I cover it with paper. If you want to skip the paper mache step, you could use some tape to cover the edges, especially the ends where there's an opening hole. And then you may need to paint it white, but this depends on if your fabric is transparent or not. To help make it dry faster, you can use a hair dryer. I did this after the first coat and then I put the second coat on. I stick it in a cup so that it can dry without touching anything. I'm using white polycotton fabric and I want to rip the edges. The ripped edges give it a bit more of a texture and a more roughed up look. My strip is about 3.5 inches wide. You need to cut it first before you can rip it off. And once you get to the other end, you're going to need to cut it again. You may need to join it if it's not long enough. I'm using this off-white primer because my fabric is semi-transparent and we'll be able to see the newspaper through. I did 2 coats of the primer. The handle, I left it as is, but if you want to, you can try and carve out the wooden handle to match like a knife. I'm using black acrylic paint for the handle. I did 2 coats of paint, allowing it to dry in between. Before sticking any glue on, I wrapped my fabric around to measure to make sure it was enough, and I decided where the placement was, and then I undid it and I put the glue on. I started covering the long edge of the sword first. Wherever I needed it to go on an angle, I just folded the extra fabric down and I glued it flat. After this part, I let it fully dry before moving on to the second fabric layer. So this fabric is the horizontal one and it goes around. Try to make the overlap and the distance between each similar. Make sure the fabric is fully dry before you start painting. So I did some paint tests with both acrylic paint and fabric paint. I like the acrylic paint because it dried faster and it's a darker color on the first coat. I only did one coat. If I would use the fabric paint, I might have needed 2 coats. Fabric paint is better if you need to wash the garment or if you need to keep the flexibility and the movement, because acrylic paint, it dries quite hard. But since for this prop that doesn't matter, so it's okay to use acrylic paint. If my videos and tutorials helped you create something, please tag me. I would love to see your work. Please check out my channel for playlists on cooking, sewing, cosplay, and other tutorials. You can support me by buying me an online coffee, which is a donation of increments by $3, or you can buy anything from my Etsy shop. It's all handmade by me. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. I hope you have fun with your projects. Bye bye!